do like the gay conversion?
I mean, Nick would love to, but
The Jedi mind trick, but you are now gay.
But there are some people that still think it's contagious.
Yeah,
I was at
I'm
work
sure,
in
yeah.
an EMS uniform driving an ambulance. I walked into Dunkin' Donuts and there was this woman with her cute daughter in the place. And I just waved hi and the woman shielded her daughter from me like I was contagious. Literally scooped her up with both arms and dragged her away from me.
This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
Well, Ashley, you're like,
Yeah, that's a whole
I got to
different
leave you
chapter.
out of this, Ashley.
I had
because-
a revolving door. So.
You know, you had the perfect cover, though.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you started to identify. I don't know what age you were, but Mom, Dad, don't worry about it. I'm identifying as a woman, so I'm just going to have a woman come in there. Well, that don't fucking work either. So you had like the perfect cover.
listen, if you try to figure this out, you're going to need a map.
Listen, I still haven't figured out after Ashley's episode. I still have so many questions. Like, what?
Yeah, but this.
Forgot it.
You?
Trans woman,
You
lesbian,
got questions?
dating
I should come
women,
on
what?
outside because I still got questions.
Let's turn it over to Mark. Let him start asking the questions.
So, at what point did you, as brother and sister, let each other know that this is the direction of your life?
I don't know when she knew about me, but mine was when I had to commit her to Bergen Regional.
That's when you knew, and that was you weren't young. You were
2016, so I was about 28.
You were 28 years old,
when I
and
finally
you
came
had
out.
hid that all your life.
Yep.
No wonder you got you were addicted to unhealthy behaviors.
Yep.
That's got to be a difficult secret to hide. Did you almost let it out, or did you want to let it out?
I was out to any of my partners that I was dating, but I wasn't out publicly.
Okay, were you growing your hair longer? Were you?
Not until then. Yeah. Until 2016, I presented masculine.
Did
My
you
whole
date
life.
women back in the day?
Yep.
So did you dress up when you went out?
On
wigs-
occasion,
wigs
but
and
mostly
stuff?
just at home with my partners, and that was it. And then once that happened, after I got clean, I started my transition. Then I started to present feminine, and I grew my hair out and changed my wardrobe.
So what was that like when you committed her
Uh,
and you found this out?
worst day of our family life, for sure.
Because of her committal, or because of the fact that she's identifying as a woman?
Well, I still didn't know. So what happened was she had hit rock bottom. And I guess, you know, as family, we're blind to our family,
Mhm.
right? The worst thing we could ever do is try to treat one of our own family members. You know, as an officer, as a fireman, as an EMT, it's the worst thing. You can't focus, you can't think. You know, it just doesn't work. She had hit rock bottom. I all the signs and symptoms I had been ignoring, hoping that they'd go away, hoping that he would find his way or whatever it was.
She was right.
Well, it was he at the time.
There's a delineated point where you became
he-
she.
Correct.
Unknown she. And it was pretty much either go to jail or go to Bergen Regional. You know, my parents didn't want him in the house, and I don't know if it was alcohol, drugs, emotions, you know,
All the
three.
above.
all the above. But again, we didn't know. And I had kept arguing with him. I said, listen, if you're gay, just say it, because you got two gay brothers. The track's already laid. You just got to ride the rails. You know,
It's a little bit more than that, Mark. I have to tell you.
but didn't say, you know, and I understand because I hit it when I was younger. You know, you never know. And I don't remember 7-10 days in Bergen Regional. Really had no idea what was going on. And when we picked her up at Bergen Regional, it was my sister.
I was going
Went
to say,
in,
you go
went in
as
as
a
my
he.
brother, came in
and
out
now
as
he's-
my sister.
Wow.
And our lovely healthcare system, because of HIPAA, let's not talk to the family and friends. Just come pick up your
Wow.
family member.
That's okay. They thought I was delusional. If you look at my paperwork from the hospital, it says, he was delusional about being a woman. Even though I said that, hey, I'm an addict. I've been using drugs because I'm hiding that I am truly trans. They chalked it all up
So
to drugs.
unfortunately, Bergen Regional wasn't equipped to handle the situation. Since then, because of Ashley's case and because of us speaking up about it, they now have an entire department committed to LGBTQ health.
Which is now Newbridge Medical.
That's amazing. Like I want you to really take it easy on your parents for the rest of your life. because what you put your parents through, and I try to put myself in your parents' shoes. What you put your parents through. My son has a drug problem, needs help, goes into the hospital. Now my daughter's clean. And I know it sounds humorous, but think about the stresses of your parents are just trying to give you the best life you can have. And did that ever come into your mind? Like, when I come out, is this going to be too big of a shock for them?
Or are they going to accept me like this?
It's always a concern, and that's why it took me 28 years to finally come out, because even though I know they love me, I know they care about me, like, being gay has become more accepted, as you said before, but trans is still paving our way, and there's always that fear. Like, there's still people that judge me on a regular basis. For the most part, my coworkers, my family, they've all accepted me very well, but you still run into a few people here and there.
Now, do you hold it against those people who judge you like that?
No, I just laugh at them. They get really mad when you smile at them.
Chalk it up to ignorance, maybe?
Yeah. Well, some of it's ignorance, some of it they're just assholes.
Yeah.
Because if I were to meet you 30 years ago, I probably would have judged you much more harshly than I do now. That's the truth.
The old Kevin.
That's absolutely the truth.
Like, thought they were a freak of some
I'm not
sort.
going to say that I've been woke my whole life. I'm not a woke person. I'm an accepting person. All right. But we all have that in us to judge. We judge people every single day. That's why I
Got to hear about what we say about you when you leave.
yeah. But if you were to be able to give them an experience like both of you have given Mike and I, where it's a kind experience, it's an educating experience,
Eye-opening.
you may be able to change people's perspective.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Where they can accept you. They may not affirm, they may not agree with your lifestyle, and that's fine. That's cool. Everybody's allowed for that. But you're not looking for affirmation. You're looking for acceptance.
Right. We're not pushing our agenda on you.
Right.
We're just educating you to it.
You mean you don't do like the gay conversion?
I mean, Nick would love to, but
The Jedi mind trick, but you are now gay.
But there are some people that still think it's contagious.
Yeah,
I was at
I'm
work
sure,
in
yeah.
an EMS uniform driving an ambulance. I walked into Dunkin' Donuts, and there was this woman with her cute daughter in the place. And I just waved hi, and the woman shielded her daughter from me like I was contagious, literally scooped her up with both arms and dragged her away from me.
I told this story, I think it was during your episode, where I'm in Dunkin' Donuts and there was a trans person behind me. And I remember my wife turning to me and go, wow, that's a big woman. And I go, that ain't a woman.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I go, that ain't a woman. How can you tell? Women don't have Adam's apples, and look at the size of those paws on the end of her arms. I mean, just gigantic. Like, Mark, same question goes to you. How did you breach that subject to your parents?
I think they breached it with me. It was just, hey, your guy friends can't stay over anymore.
Oh,
I was
You're
like,
too
okay.
much squeaking in the bed when your friends stay over. And I
Okay,
know you're not
so,
jumping on
all
it.
I can't afford
They
the
can't-
lube anymore. That's it.
They can't use the door, so all right, I got a window.
And once they accept, what age were you?
God, I don't even know. I was young. I would say high school, so 17, 18-ish.
Okay.
Who was the first one to come out to your parents?
Officially, I would say my middle brother.
Yeah.
Did he just come in and say,
No, he did the Jedi mind trick. He invited my parents up to visit him and his roommate at college, and there was only one bed and one bedroom. So on the way home, my mother called me up and she goes, have you met your brother's roommate? I said, yeah. She goes, where's he sleep? I go, I don't know.
on top of my brother?
And it was like, huh.
Oh, yeah, maybe there's something going on there. I don't know.
So then you came out next?
Yeah, kind of. I think that's when all the puzzle pieces started coming
I'm
together.
just trying to figure out, like, the night you came out and the parents laying in bed going, here we go again.
What the fuck?
Here we go again.
Yeah, I don't know what that
They knew
conversation was
already.
like.
They just didn't want to admit it.
Well, were you
And then you came out and they went, oh.
were you accepting of Mark and your brother's gayness? I don't know what the word is. Like, I'm sorry, I'm ignorant on
Yeah,
that.
we've always been a supportive family.
Well, do you remember what you said to Mark when you first found out?
Probably nothing. I was like, whatever.
Okay. Oh,
No, I think you said next time close the bathroom door.
Oh, there you go. That works too.
I don't need to see that shit. But that's so your parents. That would be an interesting time to be a fly on the wall. Your parents, like Mike said, sitting in bed, going. Your brother comes out. Like, what the hell did we do? Did they start looking at themselves, saying, "What did we do anything wrong? Did we raise them differently?"
We never really had a conversation like that. It was just kind of accepted.
Yeah. That might be a question to ask them, because they didn't do anything wrong.
No, not at all.
But it's normal for a parent to take the blame whenever their child does something that that doesn't align with their values. So what do you think they would say?
I'm not sure. I mean, my mother works as a crossing guard, and she's been a good Samaritan and talked to other individuals of the LGBT community when she sees them struggling and in town and in the area. So
she's become somewhat of an ambassador,
an ally. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Mike and I. That's how I consider Mike and I. We're ambassadors. We're not gay, but we support our friends. It doesn't matter your friends. Like, the friends come before your sexual orientation.
Well, you're helping spread the education and the knowledge. You're asking the questions that everybody else is afraid to ask.
You guys are spreading the knowledge. We're just the idiots that are standing there asking stupid questions and see if you'll answer them.
I'll answer anything you want there, buddy.
Now
Be careful what you ask.
you have this whole family now that goes against the grain. I don't think that's wrong to say. Those people who are around you, did they ask you that question? Like, was there something in the paint?
Well,
That's what I was going to say. How was
Uneducated people.
Like, how was your family viewed in the community?
We always just blame the tap water.
You got lead pipes. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I lost a couple friends in the beginning and then gained more in the long run. And I'm grateful for all my friends. They're all supportive.
So we talked about it a little bit off air, that when you came in, we had this guy who was he was so gung-ho about this show. Oh, you guys are doing great work. You guys are doing great things. And then your episode aired. How dare you have gay people on there? They're indoctrinating our kids. Like, all the buzzwords came out. And my opinion was, I don't really want you to listen.
And he wasn't even from here.
No, he's in the Philippines. He was an American in Philippines.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even want you to listen, man. Go, be on your own way. But both of you must deal with that.
Oh, constantly. I mean, there's still states that are banning laws and trying to pass laws and banning LGBTQ books. I mean, there's still hate out there.
But we spoke about that on both of your episodes, the indoctrination and what age is too young. And there's certain places in this country, which I don't agree with, that are sexualizing things. Let them know there's option A, B, C, D, E. These are your options. But beyond that, until they get to the human sexuality age, I don't particularly agree with talking anything sexual. Not man, woman, man, woman, woman. Doesn't matter.
Listen, we're in the community, and there's still stuff we don't get. And we don't understand why they're talking about it or doing it.
Listen, I don't mind telling the young kids that there are different sexual orientations, right? But they're like beating into these kids' heads.
Well, look what Target did. Target lost billions.
So did Bud Light.
Billions on what they
Don't
did.
get me started.
Yeah.
Bud Light.
Bud Light was stupid for putting out that commercial. Like, your wheelhouse is rednecks.
Yeah.
Like, why would you think about that from a business perspective?
You're not wrong, but then again, why should it matter who sponsors them?
That ad exec did not last long.
No.
Yeah.
Did not.
But Target, all right? Listen, you want to have a pride display? Go for it. But on Memorial Day, it should be the American flag.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I think where Target messed up is they were making those gender bender underwear for kids to hide, like, especially male kids, to hide their penis, and that it was kids. Like, it wasn't teens, it was kids. Like, why does a kid need to hide their penis?
Again, we're going to go back to Ashley's episode when those gender benders have duct tape in there.
Yeah.
We need to get Ashley's better half in here to figure that one out. All right, time to take the tape off. It was one of the most educating experiences I've ever had. I'm dead serious, because all those questions I had to ask.
He'd been dying to ask somebody.
I've been dying to ask somebody. Like,
Sure he
where
was.
the hell you put it?
He wants to learn.
Yeah, of course. We all should learn. We all should strive for education on this stuff.
So just to follow up on it, anybody from our community who has pride in our country is going to say the American flag should fly first. So the whole thing with
Absolutely.
Target, I think, was just a mistake. they brought their stuff out early, and it caused a bunch of controversy.
But they're paying for it now. They're paying for
Unfortunately.
you when you're in business, no matter what it is. Like when you go out on a fire call, are you waving the pride flag?
I have one on my helmet.
You have one in your helmet,
Yeah, I have a small one on my helmet.
but you're going there to fight a fire.
Right.
All right, so it doesn't matter.
No.
It-
And the
it-
only thing I've seen the only time I think I've ever seen maybe a pride flag on a fire engine, because they all have the American flags hanging off them.
Yep.
Is maybe for a parade,
yeah, that's fine.
right?
Yep. Or the purple flags for the when we have a loss of life, the bunting.
When it's time to get to work, everybody's the same.
Everybody's
when,
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's time to go to work as an EMT, Ashley, everybody's the same. You know, would you?
Absolutely.
You don't run up to a house and say, "Oh, I'm here. I'm a trans EMT," you know, or you don't go up and say, "I'm here. I'm a gay fireman."
Nor do we go up.
You go up. I'm an EMT. I'm here to help you.
I'm
you
a
know?
heterosexual cop.
Yeah.
I'm here to save you. You know, it doesn't work that way. It's just I'm here to. I'm
We'll have to put the symbols on the back of the cop cars.
yeah. When's it time for a straight flag?
There is one.
There's a straight flag.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
It's black, white, and gray stripes.
God, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah.
It's dividing us and distracting
Exactly.
everybody from the fact that we're all just human beings. That's
That's right.
Well, you like I said, especially in the first responder field, who the fuck cares what your orientation is? Aren't we all out there to help people?
We're there for
Yeah.
somebody's worst day.
Exactly. And you don't have to identify yourself to get there.
And we don't.
But how do you both support each other? And your third brother, I don't know if you want to say his name on air. I don't want to overstep my bounds. But how do you support each other in your difficulties that you experience? I'm sure the difficulties aren't over for you.
We keep in touch. I check on her, when my parents aren't around. We invite each other over, invite each other out. Just keep an eye on each other. But we each have our own lives and partners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I call him the vent when I run into stupid people at work, or
You know, I mean, that's got to be such a good family dynamic, too, because you can vent about the same things. You know, like someone that's either gay bashing or trans bashing or something, you can call them up. Hey, Mark, guess what this fucking idiot did today?
yep.
Yeah.
Because when
And you understand.
we talked about it on Instagram Live tonight. We talked about
Submarine.
well, yeah, we did talk about that. But we talked about putting your lives out there for public display. And if you put your lives out there for public display, you have to be ready and prepared to get some clapback.
Yep.
And have you received any public clapback from your lifestyles?
Yeah, definitely. But just ignore them most of the time. Like, I post stuff, and of course, all the friends, family, they're all like, "Oh, that's great, wonderful."
So not all of it's great. I'm here to tell you, not all of it's great.
Yeah, well, but then you get those idiots that make rude comments, and you just keep scrolling by. You're like, whatever, this guy's just an idiot.
But why not just keep your comments to yourself?
Because I'm talking to Mark one day, I'm like, you got to tell Ashley stop. Because I'm rolling through Instagram like,
you punished me because you made me go look.
Your plan worked. You got him to look.
That was Snapchat.
And then I
You
called.
want to follow my Snapchat? Be prepared.
made you look.
I'm not friends with her on Snapchat.
No, I'm not friends with you. It's Instagram it was on. The one on Instagram, like,
I don't remember. I don't want to think
I
about
don't know. My Instagram's more PG.
yeah, I'm not on. I don't do the Snapchat thing. But aren't you ever afraid that one day it's going to hurt your professional lives? And are your parents there to back you up if it ever
Right.
does?
it. It could. Like I said, I've spoke as a keynote for the county executive. I'm chairman of the state, chairman of New Jersey for a national nonprofit, and we get emails and messages to our Instagram and our Twitter. Similar to what you got. You're tainting our children, all this kind of stuff, and there's still a lot of hate out there. But like Ashley said, we just ignore it. Click, delete, and just keep moving forward.
Sometimes I like them just to annoy them. They'll write something mean, and I'll like the comment. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Thank you for your comment.
Yeah, because they're actually baiting you and trying to give them
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
give them a little
More ammo.
and say, look, these people are all just miserable.
Right.
And then you go back. What do you mean these people? What are you talking about, these people? But as the kids, as it starts to become more and more acceptable at a younger age, we have to change the way we do things. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. I have a friend of mine who was coaching somebody who is identifying as a boy, born a woman. And when you coach certain sports, especially boys' sports, if you say balls, these kids, they'll giggle, and that's like, guys, you got,
Mike still giggles.
Yeah.
I do.
watch this. Poop.
Fart. Yeah, poop. No, like farts. Farts are funny. You say fart, I'll crack up.
Of course. He had to change his dynamic on how he coached those kids because, you know, you got the young kids, you're like, guys, and you make sure the parents aren't around. You got to show some balls. And you're like, oh, because one kid doesn't have balls. So you don't want to exclude it. And you're not doing it to be exclusionary.
It's tough. It's tough. You got to watch everything you say and everything you do these days.
But how much grace does the community give for the changing of those values?
Not as much as they should. People like me, I get to know you. You can say something wrong. We'll educate you. I don't take it offensively, you know.
Because grace is defined as you get a hug instead of a punch in the face.
Yeah.
You know, that's
I agree with that.
That's
right.
That's the definition of grace. And things like that have been ingrained for hundreds of years.
Right. Some people hold to they're offended and that's it, you know. We're about educating and changing the stigma that's out there because I'm not here to push our agenda on you. I want you to respect us as much as we respect you.
Nick might like that.
Well, Nick doesn't want to push an agenda.
He wants to push a stool.
So your parents now being ambassadors,